Hey, everybody, welcome to HitPoint. Baku, how are you doing this fine evening?
Oh boy, I am doing great. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing pretty darn swell. Hey, everybody, welcome to HitPoint, the new JRPG, anime, figures, niche news podcast, whatever we really feel like talking about. It's a whole bunch of new stuff to us. We're just kind of figuring things out as we go. And it's just, what? Wow.
A
Oh,
lot of
I'm playing the thing in the
experimentation.
background. Yep. I just need to turn off my video preview. There we go. There. I was like hearing myself in the background. I'm like, that sounds very distracting.
I did the exact same thing just a second ago.
Yeah, we're still doing this. So, everybody, thank you all for being here. We are just found out I had a different stream of it playing in the background. Still distracting myself. Oh, geez. Okay, let's try that again. Hey, everybody, welcome to HitPoint, the JRPG news show, and hey, joining me as always is my good buddy Bakusan JRPG. How you doing this evening,
Hello.
Baku?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty darn swell. Well, I'm a little bit tired actually. A little bit tired.
Me too.
The world is crazy, but at least at the end of the day, we all know we can have our Diet Mountain Dew right before bed, and it's gonna be fine because we can sleep anyway.
Yep. As long as I got my RPGs, I'm good.
Yep.
Just please don't take that away. That's all I got. Please.
Yep. So, Baku, what is going on in the world? What would you say if there was just like one big piece of JRPG news that's like just taking the world by storm at the moment? What would you say that is at the moment?
One big piece of JRPG news that's taking the world by storm right now.
A top headline, if you will.
Oh God. You're talking about Pokemon? You're talking about Pokemon? Are we going to talk about Pokemon again? Is this going to be...
Welcome to the Pokecast. the SuperDerek and Bakusan Pokecast.
We're a little late if we want to catch up on this whole thing of being like a Pokemon-centric channel. But you know what? It's never too late. If that's what you guys want, we'll be...
SuperDerek,
we'll do whatever you want.
Yep. I should change my name to Pokéderek. Pokéderek and what would your name be if you were?
I'll be Professor Baku.
Professor Baku.
Professor Baku. Yeah, I'll give people like their starters, and I'll make sure to give them what they don't want, and the kids are gonna learn to live with bad decisions.
Learn to deal with the disappointment.
Yes, and they're gonna learn that life is not fair.
And you're going to send them off on adventures, and you're going to stay home and just be around their mom the entire time for some reason.
Yes. Not suspicious at all.
Uncle Baku.
What are you doing in my house? Like, oh, hi, Ash. I was just borrowing some sugar.
Yep, getting some sugar from your mom.
This show, if I need to remind everyone, is family friendly, so no worries.
So we got a little bit of feedback from last week's podcast. So I do want to let everybody know that right off the bat, we did get some initial feedback. We were trying something a little bit different because we had been hearing that Baku was a little bit quiet. So I was trying to fix that. Everybody who listens to the audio version probably didn't hear how quiet it was at times because I did a lot of changes in post, but we tried to boost his audio a little bit. Did not work out super well last time, so we're trying something a little bit different this time. So just, hopefully this will turn out a little bit nicer than last time. Just, growing pains, learning experiences. Anyways.
Absolutely. If I made any of y'all ears bleed, I apologize. But also not sorry because I can't hear it. We're doing our best. Yep. But if you do hear any oddities, through today's broadcast, please let us know. We're gonna continue to fix this thing until we get it right. So thank you for the feedback so far, though.
Yeah. So we did get some other feedback though here from here. Let's see. From
So whenever you guys put some comments in after the video's up, after the broadcast, we do read those. There are a couple that we picked out that we feel like kind of chatting about or addressing or what have you. So the first one is from Neo Purcell. Hello, Neo, if you're here. And quote, I like the new look of the new Final Fantasy remasters, but I wish they didn't cut out all the bonus content from the portable versions. I hope they added as DLC at some point. It just feels like a downgrade. And if I had known for sure they were going to do that, I would have gotten the prior versions of Final Fantasy V and VI and modded those to look like the classics selves before they were delisted, end quote. Thank you so much for that comment. And yes, I think I've expressed the exact same sentiment for particularly 5 and 6, because 5 and 6 had additional content. So 5 had like what they call like the advanced jobs, because it was on Game Boy Advance. It was like, I think it was like Necromancer, and like it was like a couple of jobs for Final Fantasy V that they had only exclusively on Advance. Anyone who's ever done like a 4-job Fiesta would know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was on the iOS version, aka the version that got delisted, but it was not in the Pixel remaster. Similarly for 6, you also have these advanced dungeon where you have to fight these dragons and get these extra weapons and what have you, extra challenges that were not in the Pixel remaster, which I felt like is kind of a disappointment from my perspective. I feel like that should have been the definitive edition, and that should have been, their starting point in sort of giving this Pixel remaster. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested in hearing what everyone else thinks. Like, would you guys prefer them just doing this and have the remaster based off the very original edition, or should there have been like a definitive edition from the Game Boy Advance, and they should have done that? I'm in the camp of I want more content, and those are really released content, so I want to keep them.
That's a pretty interesting point. I feel like after my recent playthrough of Chrono Trigger, which I've got a review of that incoming, which is going to be great, I think. But when I played through that, I played the Steam version, which had all the content from the mobile version, because it was actually, at least initially, a straight port of the mobile version of the game, which had the DS content. And I'm kind of conflicted about that content. On the one hand, it's entirely optional content. I could skip it if I wanted to, right? So is it better to have it and not play it, or to, I guess it's better to have it and not play it than to want to play it and not have access, right?
Yeah, I mean the option should be there, right? And you should just allow the player to sort of decide if they want to do it or not. I mean, especially for 5, it's it's like extra jobs. It's not, there is a whole post game dungeon too, but like there are these extra jobs that you could use even before doing the final dungeon in the regular playthrough. So it's not 100% the same, I guess. But in any case, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So definitely keep the comments coming. We want to have a conversation with you guys, which is kind of difficult when it's real time, but a little easier when it's in the comment form afterwards. But anyways, yeah. So the way that I look at it is like, if you guys want to sort of chat amongst yourselves, like the chat's really cool. If you want to hear instantaneous feedback from us within today, super chat's good. But if you just want to leave some comments for us to read later at our leisure through the week, then the comment section would be ideal.
Yeah.
So I was like struggling a little bit. It's like, how do I recommend what you do? I think that's what we're kind of going towards right now. But okay, so we've got another comment from AA or I don't know. It's a straight letter.
Believe, how do we pronounce that one? I believe it's AA. That's probably how it is. A.
Are you sure it's not a I? I. Okay. So this is interesting. I actually found this comment very interesting. And quote, not sure what the point of calling this new game Soul Hackers is when it looks nothing like Soul Hackers. All that's going to do is possibly push away fans of the original for being too different and alienate new fans by calling itself a direct sequel to a game only playable on dead consoles or through emulation, end quote. I found that particularly interesting because that just reminds me of a certain game in the past, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross.
Maybe. I mean, well, here's the thing. I feel like it's really way too early to making these sorts of judgments, right? I mean, sure, on the face of it, and as someone who hasn't played any of Soul Hackers, I guess, I have no concept of like how much has changed, right? But or how much of a departure is it? I realized that when the original Soul Hackers was released, it was kind of like a cyberpunk as envisioned back in the 90s. And this one's trying to be more of like a cyberpunk as envisioned by today's standards, right?
Yeah, completely different. Completely different.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, it was like Hackers, the 1990s movie, which was amazing, by the way.
It's like, a lot of keyboard pounding and like 10 screens.
Like,
and
that was cyberpunk back then. That was a cyberpunk movie, and now cyberpunk is like Cyberpunk 2077, right? It's two completely different things.
But
they could be just 20 years apart, though. You never know. Like, So
whenever I think hacker or hack anything, I'm always thinking about what is it? CSI? Is it CSI?
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, with the GUI, with the GUI.
Oh, I can create a GUI or something, is what they said.
I can create a GUI.
I'm like, and see if I can trace the IP address.
you will make a graphical user interface to do what now?
To trace the IP address. It's like, that sounds like a whole lot of extra work for just like
hold on, let me design line? I'm a UI UX expert, okay? Let me create that GUI for you.
Yeah, let me
Oh god. Okay. Derek and I are both in the IT field, so I think we find these things particularly hilarious.
My favorite was the tag team on the same, like they were both keying away on the same board.
So here, let me help you because you're not typing fast enough. The two of us will type a lot faster than one.
Oh man.
So I think, I just remember back in the days where or even sometimes now people will say, well, Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross looks so much different. And if you take yourselves back, like all the way back to when Chrono Cross first came out, like I think a lot of folks kind of said the same thing. It's like it's so different. Like, why is this a Chrono game? And like, I think there are some key differences between the two. I mean, I said it like kind of facetiously, but like really there's some key difference, right? That being, Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, you can argue whether or not they are actually direct sequels or not. Like, that's still up for debate, which sucks that it's up for debate, but it totally is. For Soul Hackers, however, it is a direct sequel, from my understanding right now. It's that there's no, there's no muddiness in this messaging. It is a direct sequel. It happens within the same universe. It has the same factions. It is definitely a sequel.
And a lot of those differences that you can spot on the surface, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad thing either, though, because look at this. Compare Persona 1 to Persona 3, right? When you compare them, like, just because they are inherently different doesn't mean that they are not interconnected in some way, even though they can be wildly different in a lot of ways. They can still be similar. Is it excluding fans of Persona 1 and Persona 2 when they switched to Persona 3? Maybe, but pretty much every revolutionary entry in any video game does. Like, Mario 64 excluded a lot of Mario 1 fans. Mario 1 excluded a lot of fans of Mario Bros, the arcade game, where it's just Mario and Luigi in a maze of pipes and stuff trying to kill each other. Like, every time that you make a big change in any game series, there is risk of alienating people. But I think that it's only through that experimentation that you can find new things that really work for your audience, right? And try to push things further. So I'm optimistic. I try to be optimistic about things. That said, I can totally understand, because like Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, not very much like Breath of Fire 3 or Breath of Fire 4. So I can totally see the apprehension, but sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
Absolutely. I mean, look just going back to Persona, look at Persona 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4 versus 5. Like the drastic changes between the gameplay and the art style is, but it's still all very Persona. Like there is a certain traits that that goes beyond just the aesthetics, that keeps the series coherent, and so as long that's not violated, I feel like and I think fans largely define what that is. Like what do you associate with Persona, right? What are the core elements that really mix this Persona experience?
I mean, that's such a deep discussion in and of itself, because like ask 10 different people, what you love about Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy series, especially at this point, and you're going to get 10 different answers. You're going to get 11 different answers from 10 different people, actually. So yeah, that's just how it is, though.
Yeah, but that's why that comment kind of got me thinking. It's like, you know what? We need to have a quick chat
for sure.
Yeah.
But you in the comments keep giving us things to talk about. I really appreciate
that. I know. I love that. Thank you so much again. I think that's how we pronounce yeah. Yes. Last but not least, we've got Japanimation Man. I won't read the entire comment because it's quite long, but I just want to thank you for your detailed explanation regarding the soul hacking gun, because I actually don't really know much about soul hackers, and also why you like the SMT series so much. I am personally warming up to the SMT series. I know Derek is a fan at this point. I've only played P3, P, and I didn't have a good experience, but now that I'm seeing some of the new stuff and watching some other folks play like P5 and what have you, I'm definitely warming up to the series. So I hope to play another game and see if I can find the same love that you have for this series.
Yeah, man, it's been a really great series. I've really been enjoying my time with SMT 5. I've been playing on hard mode. I've been dying a whole lot. I think we're gonna actually finish this week though, and it has.
So why did you decide on hard mode? What's going on?
Why did you hate yourself?
Yeah, why did you hate yourself so much?
Oh, because it's got this reputation of being like a really hard RPG, and I just I wanted to see. I've played and reviewed over 100. I finished over 100 RPGs over the last 8 years, right? And I'm like, I should be able to do this. And I'm like, well, let's go ahead and throw it on hard mode and just stretch those muscles. And then also, I also wanted to do it as just a way to be like, as a way to both, I guess, in a way, flex for maybe myself, and maybe to prove to myself that I could do it. And then also so that when I do a review eventually and I say, don't bother playing on hard mode or whatever, play on whatever mode you want to. People won't be like, oh, he didn't even play on, whatever mode. I want to be the person who says, yeah, I did it on hard mode. Don't bother with it. You don't have to. You don't.
Yeah, don't at me. No, absolutely. And you know what? That just means Derek's a true gamer. I would play normal mode. I'm with the common men. I'm not in the domain of the gods. Let me just play this on normal mode, and if you wanna toss smack, is fine, because I don't care. I like my sanity a little bit too much. But I more power to you, Derek. I'm actually surprised that you went hard mode, but you're almost done. So congratulations, you're almost there.
Oh man, 110 hours in, I'm almost done.
110 hours is actually relatively short for a for like an SMT game, right? Like I've always thought like like the SMT games has like it's like notorious for being a little bit longer.
Yeah, I put about 130 hours into Persona 3, the journey and the answer. You know, I think like 100. They're usually over 100 hours, but I mean, who knows? I'm just entering in the last dungeon at this point, so it could be a 20-hour dungeon. I don't know. I hope not.
But only on hard mode.
But yeah. So I will also say, everybody, if you have questions you want us to respond to, just throw those into the comments when the video goes live. If you're here and watching live, we'll answer chats. We'll answer any super chats and stuff at the end of the stream, because I forgot to mention that at the top of the episode. So and we'll catch your super chats at that point. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Now we got some upcoming games this week, don't we, dude?
We do have some upcoming games, but first I do want to just make a quick announcement regarding a topic that we brought up in the previous show. So remember Relayer? Remember that? That was like a mecha sort of tactical RPG that's coming.
The one that looked like a Gundam, and it was made by
Kadokawa.
Kadokawa. That's right.
Yeah, so I just want to give you guys a quick update. In the last week's show, I said, well, the demo is coming out in Japan, but I couldn't get a confirmation that it was going to be worldwide. I have received confirmation that, in fact, came out yesterday worldwide. So if anyone's interested in checking it out, I do believe the demo is available on PS4 and PS5. So check it out. In fact, I'm going to check this. I'm probably going to check it out after our podcast, and I'm just going to play a couple of stages and see how I feel about it. It looks really interesting. It's just right up my alley. It's mecha and tactical RPG. There's nothing to hate about it for me. So yeah, if you're like me and you like tactical RPGs, demo's out. But check it after the broadcast. Like, stay here. Don't go anywhere. How dare you?
Oh no, they can
don't think
you're
leaving.
No. Go ahead and play in the background. It's fine.
But don't leave us.
Yeah.
Stay here. Don't go yet. I'm kidding. Do what you need. Yeah, but as far as upcoming game is concerned, Babylon's Fall is finally coming out. That's I think that's huge. It's like we've got last week it was what is that game called?
That was so last week anyway.
Elden
Ring.
Elden Ring. There you go. I was just like, So last week was Elden Ring. That's already last week. Whatever. Everyone's already beaten the game. So if you haven't beaten that game, you're late. No, Elden Ring. Wow, Elden Ring sold really well, from my understanding.
I mean, it got reviewed really well.
Yes.
So many 10s out of 10.
Despite some hiccups, I know that there's some launch hiccups. I didn't delve too deep into it, but I've heard, through the grapevine that there's some hiccups on like PC. Xbox Online Play. Like, PC has the usual like 60 FPS lock and not great optimization. But even with all that, it's still very positively reviewed. So I think that game is, if you guys are a big, Soul and just Soulborn series, basically fans, what are you waiting for? That game is for you. Like, get it today. Hashtag not sponsored. But this week is all about Babylon's Fall. So let's talk a little bit about it. So this game is developed by Platinum Games. Should be no stranger to anyone. And also published by Square Enix. Again, no stranger to anyone.
Square
who? Square? What?
Who's that?
Square Enix. What? Are you pretending to be an FPS fan right now?
Bro, all I play is Halo. And drink Mountain Dew.
Yo, bro. Where's the Square Enix? Where's this RPG? Is that the rocket launcher? Talking about a rocket launcher. Yeah, so it's developed by Platinum Games, published by Square Enix. Babylon Fall is an online only. Okay, that's very important to know. Cooperative action RPG with up to 4 players. What? Yeah, I know. I knew it. I knew.
You lost me
I'm out
online.
too. I'm out too. But I'm doing this for the rest of you because the rest of you might care.
Yeah. Some people actually have friends to play in these games.
Yeah, friends. I have Derek. Maybe that's it. Like but it's up to 4 players. Where am I going to find 2 other people? Like I can't. So up to 4 players will play as Sentinels, and Sentinels in this universe of people have been implanted with something called the Gideon coffin. So if you guys seen the trailers, it's like a thing that's on their back, and they need to climb this tower called the Ziggurat. And using the Gideon coffin, a Sentinel can well up to 4 different weapons at a time. Some of the weapons that they've talked about is like sword, great hammer, I think rods, like so magic usage, bow and arrow, and shields. I would imagine that there would be more weapons to come as the game progresses and balancing happens. But for now, those are your options. So 5 options, kind of, and you out of the 4 slots, you can kind of mix and match however you want. Is
this NieR Automata? God, it's so hard to say that word sometimes. Is this NieR Automata mixed with like Left 4 Dead? Is that kind of what this is? Like just 4-player co-op, like just different like
things. Well, kind of. I'm only not sure because I've never played Left 4 Dead.
Oh, okay.
It's like kind of like from what I've seen, like you join up with like 3 other people, and then you enter an instance where you're going through these stages and climbing like the set tower, and that's what that looks like. And you'll fight enemies, and the battle looks extremely fluid, as one would expect from a Platinum Games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Platinum Games, really fluid? Really? What?
That's all I ever hear is that they're so great.
Yeah, and yet you won't play NieR Automata. It's just like
it's because I can't pronounce it. That's really the hard part.
Hey guys, everyone watching right now, I need you all to tweet at Derek at Derek's Twitter. Like every episode, I'm just gonna be like, here, tweet at Derek, please.
But just make sure that you follow while you're there.
Yes, follow and tweet at Derek. Don't tweet at me. I don't decide what game he plays. But NieR Automata at this point has proven itself to be like one of the masterpieces. So I think it really does deserve a spot on your playlist at some point. And I talk about Yakuza, I talk about like Xenoblade Chronicles, and I think those are great games. But I would put NieR Automata above that on my personal list. So I would push that a little harder. If you ask me, like, well, which of these, if you get to pick one out of all of these, I would say NieR Automata. It's also a little bit more like RPG-y, so yeah.
I was just thinking, what's kind of I think maybe one of the reasons that I actually haven't been playing a whole lot of PS4 lately, and it just dawned on me. So it's another little rant that's going to take me off topic for a minute, but I feel like as a YouTuber, it's like I want to play the quintessential version, the optimal version, but I've only got a PS4 like regular, and I'm playing these games and I'm like, I'm getting the subpar experience by playing this. I should have got the Pro. And I should have just bit the bullet and got the Pro, but now I got to bite the bullet and get the PS5 because that's going to be even more of an upgrade, I think.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, do they even have a PS5 version of that game?
Of NieR Automata?
I don't think they have a PS5 version.
Probably not.
You can play the game on PS5,
but you'll still get like a slight enhancement over like a PS4 Pro, I'm sure. Runs a little smoother,
It's not worth you spending the money to get PS5 unless you have a PS5 already.
I mean, and I need a PS5 anyway. That's the thing. At some point, I'm gonna need to get one.
If you need one, let me know because I can get some.
I'm poor. But
when you're ready,
I'm also that's the other thing is I'm also cheap.
No scalper price. No scalper price.
I'm also cheap.
Yeah.
So
yes. No scalper price. But if you when you need one, Derek,
I'll reach out.
Holler.
Thanks.
Yeah, holler. Okay.
Everybody's
and
gonna
also
slide into your DMs now, Baku. Hey, I heard you got the hookup.
Okay, so since we were off topic, one day a family friend came by, and this is before I got my PS5. This is after I got my PS5, I should say. He came to visit from New York, and we were just chatting, and I was showing him, oh yeah, I got my PS5, and he's like, oh yeah, those are pretty hard to get. And I'm like, yeah, they're pretty hard to get. He's like, yeah, well, I have like 20 that's just sitting around, and I'm like, I didn't know that you're a scalper, and I just had this like instant like dislike. I'm like, I thought you were like you ally. You're a non-ally. You're an enemy. Also, hey, hook it up. So yeah, but that was the story. I was just like, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm like, on the one hand, I got this hookup right now that I can ask for if I really need a favor. On the other hand, you're a scalper.
In the words of gosh, who was it that said this in StarCraft? They referred to one of the generals that they captured. He said, he's a snake. And he said, that's right, but he's our snake now.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. But anyways, yeah, I haven't played a favorite card at all. Most of my friends who wanted a PS5 have gotten one at this point. I think actually PS5 and graphics card is going to slowly now become a little bit more available. From my understanding. Yeah,
you would think. I mean, if we're gonna go way off topic, that's the thing. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be the case. I feel like that assumes the bomb's going to fall out of crypto again here when things go from like proof of work to proof of stake or something. But I mean, they've talked about that before with Ethereum, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not.
We shall see. We shall see. I would love to upgrade my graphics card at some point.
Yeah,
but,
me too. Never bet against yourself. That's the trick. Just
and not pay scalper price. So that's the important part.
For sure.
Okay, so continuing on with Babylon's Fall. So you can kind of build and play your own style. It's also already been announced that there's going to be speaking of NieR Automata, a NieR Automata collaboration event. There's no exact dates on the collaboration, but it should have a healthy expectation that it's going to be part of the season 1 content, because it was part of the season 1 review. Just so it's probably going to be season 1. There's no exact dates, but don't quote us on it. Okay, this is just slight speculation, but reasonable speculation. The demo is currently available if you would like to try Babylon's Fall. The save will carry into the actual game. If you pre-purchase the game, you will be able to have the full experience on February 28th. The full game for everyone else will be released on March 3rd. Crossplay between PS4, PS5, and Steam version has been confirmed. So don't worry if your homies are playing on PlayStation and you are a PC elitist. Feel free to stay on Steam, because you can just play with them through crossplay. No words on how well the servers are behaving, however, but just know that the option's there.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, I feel like more games ought to have that sort of cross-platform functionality, especially action RPGs that have co-op. I mean, there's not that many of them, but it just seems like a winning move, right?
I mean, Steam is very open to it. They've always been open to it. It's always, PlayStation or like whatever, console that just like refuse to play ball.
Yeah.
But I think they're beginning to see the value in it. Either that or when you have a large publisher like Square Enix that can hold their own servers, and they're basically saying, okay, connect to our server.
Yeah.
So that way, you have no complaints because we're eating the cost of the server. In those instances, I think crossplay is a lot more likely to happen.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. So that's it for upcoming games. Of course, that doesn't end the show. We've got lots of announcements.
Oh my God, so many announcements. Some
Yeah.
of them we touched preemptively. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but here's one that kind of caught my eye when I was looking through things here. So Atelier Sophie 2 is getting a Tales of Arise collaboration here. So
that's right.
It's a collaboration between Bandai Namco and Koei Tecmo. That's how you say it, right? Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo, yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So Koei Tecmo, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a big crossover where they're getting like some cosmetic stuff before the end of April through free collaboration DLCs, which is pretty rad.
That's correct. Yeah. So you all know, Tales of Arise is already out. Atelier Sophie 2, I believe, is released recently. And they are getting some nice cosmetic collaboration between two giant companies. So I think it's worth bringing that up. Most importantly, it's free. So if you're a fan of either series, or just want to try these games for the first time, just be sure for the lookouts on these DLCs.
So I guess that means, I mean, just based on what I'm understanding here, it's like, so I guess Atelier is going to get some Tales of Arise cosmetic items, and then Tales of Arise is going to get some Atelier cosmetics.
Correct. Correct.
Very strange. Correct. I wonder what brought about this collaboration. They don't seem like a perfect match, right?
Not at all. They're very thematically different. Atelier games are super low stake and very calm and very slice of lifey. As a matter of fact, one of our friend on Twitch recently purchased Sophie 2, and she asked like, hey, should I play Sophie 1 first? Like, yeah, absolutely, because Sophie 2 is a direct sequel to Sophie 1 that has a ton of references. So if you just play Sophie 2 without Sophie 1, you're not going to get it. So now she's playing Sophie 1, and she's absolutely loving the calm slice of lifey sort of gameplay, where some people, if you're coming from like SMT and then you're jumping into Atelier, you're gonna be so on edge. What's going on?
Just gonna get anxiety. Just waiting for the hammer to drop.
You're waiting for the plot twist. Like, who's gonna die? Who's gonna die? Somebody's gonna die. It's like, no one's gonna die.
I don't trust this person. And it's just like they're just a baker, dude.
There's this lady who just sells vegetables like in town. Like that's her entire job is that she sells. Like she owns a general shop. Yeah, but it's like that. And then there's like a barkeep who runs like a cafe during the day and a bar at night, and like those are the town folks that you deal with.
I do not trust Vegmonger.
Yeah, but very different. Yeah,
selling
but Tales of Arise,
just selling things that grows out of the dirt on its own.
Yes, that's got to be a scam. It's got to be a scam. Tales of Arise though is like super dark from my understanding. It's like Tales games are getting a little darker and darker like every like series. Like Berseria was kind of dark. Mm-hmm. And then this from my understanding, this is like even darker.
Tales of Fantasia was my first Tales game, my only Tales game so far. It wasn't exactly not dark. Like it definitely had some dark moments from the start.
I think what's gotten darker for me personally is the main characters. So not so much the things that they experience or the world events or who dies and who doesn't, but like the older Tales games,
they're very happy-go-lucky character main protagonists, right?
Yeah, and like
we just got to use the power of friendship to overcome these hardships. I believe in you, and you got to believe in yourself too. I believe in you,
always
Baku.
like. I believe in you too, Derek.
Believe it.
Yes, believe it. It's always been like the main character is sort of like the light that like guides people through, and like the ever like, you know, they're never dark. They you know, they're typically sort of like the do-gooders. I think that's kind of changed a little bit, where the main characters have like maybe some ulterior motives themselves, or you know, nothing that's so nothing especially praiseworthy perhaps, but they come around, right? Like they have like a transformation. I think that's, personally, I think that's a lot more relatable, because we're not saints, right? Like people
I
are
mean,
not
speak for
saints, and
yourself.
like, well, oh, that's fair. That's fair. There. No, no.
No.
I think I stand corrected.
I get you though. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Most people
So
can
I
relate
think,
better to not being a saint at the beginning.
yeah, I actually like the direction that they're going, but I just hope they don't fall into the trap of like making characters dark for the sake of them being dark. Like, oh yeah, this character is super dark. Just let me tell you about how edgy this person is. You know, like please don't pull a Final Fantasy. There, I said it.
Well,
like,
gosh,
Tell's at a good spot. Tell's at a good spot. Like,
or
yeah.
you know what come to my mind when you said that was Dot Hack. Dot Hack, the GU last recode. The protagonist, can't remember his name anymore. Was it Haseo? He was just a total jerk. Like, and like he started off as a jerk, but they did. I feel like it was so that they could shoehorn in some sort of like character growth. So like by the end of the game, he was like, I'm a changed person and I'm better. But it's like he didn't go from being like neutral. He went from being like really unlikable to being okay. So it's like, so by the end,
you are okay.
it was just difficult to put up with, because it's like every time I saw my character like talking to somebody, I'm like, I hate him. He is such scum. And you have to deal with that a long time before he changes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I can name a couple examples, but yeah, definitely. So I'm hoping, like, they're a good spot. They got these nice internal struggles that people can relate to. It leads them down a kind of a dark path, but like they kind of come up. They have a revelation. They come about, like they come above it. They you know, they rise above the challenge. So it's like I like it. I like where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were 3 separate countdown sites that we talked about last week. We were right about certain ones, and we were very wrong about certain ones. So, do we want to go down the list and talk about it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with Capcom's here. So,
the one we were dead wrong on. Okay.
So we were saying, I think Baku was saying he was expecting this to be a Resident Evil game. I predicted Breath of Fire 6.
Yes.
And I was right. I was right.
About
so
there's 6, yes.
Yep, Breath of Fire 6 confirmed. No, I mean, I was right about the number at least. So
you were right about the number,
6,
yeah.
Street Fighter 6 was announced by Capcom. So yeah, the countdown site revealed that Street Fighter 6 is coming out. So
yay.
Cool. Hey. I mean, it's cooler. Honestly, it does have me more excited than if it was like another Resident Evil, because I feel like they've been pumping out Resident Evil games lately, right? They did the Resident Evil remake, and then they did the new Village, and then
yeah, I mean, they had Village, but I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say that they're pumping them out, because like there's the remake, but then there's like, you know, the new series. So they're like on a parallel track, if you will. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. Yeah,
but when I said that though, I meant from like the perspective of somebody who cares not at all. So
oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, more Resident Evil. There it comes. They're cool. Groovy.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so the fighting game community is ecstatic, and Resident Evil fans are obviously a little disappointed, but they also still think RE4 remake is coming, so it's just whatever for them. It's just a delay. So I think it's like a net gain overall.
Yeah, because there's still the possibility of Resident Evil stuff in the pipeline. You know,
no, absolutely,
it's still in the rumor mill.
that game is I think it would be insane if Capcom didn't, because the fans are super hype about RE4 remake. They have the technology, they have the popularity. RE4 has been hailed as one of the best. It just makes no sense that they wouldn't do a remake of it. Personally, it's all the motions are there. They just need to announce at some point. So, but back to Street Fighter 6, not much is known other than just like a really short trailer of it. The logo has been ridiculed to death. It's hilarious. Fans are so mad at the logo that they have gone take it upon themselves to make their own logo for Street Fighter 6. It's all over the internet, so you guys can take a look at all the memes that have come out from it. But it is coming out summer 2022. No exact date yet. In addition to Street Fighter 6, Capcom also announced the Capcom Fighting Collection, which I'm actually personally a little bit more excited about. This collection has 10 classic titles, such as Vampire Savior, which I grew up playing, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, a mouthful, but also a really fun game, and Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix. And those are the 3 amongst like the 10 games in the collection. Most notable is actually the addition to the game. So you're not just getting a collection of games, but something that wouldn't have been possible when these games were made, and that is online ranked matches and custom matches. Yeah, so you can create a lobby with up to 9 different players, so you and all of your friends can just create a lobby, bring any of these 10 games in there and have matches, was what I'm understanding. And I think that's super cool for fans of like, the fighting genre. You can get all your homies and just, party and get like a room going. I think it's super cool. Yeah, particularly bringing like modern sort of technology into like older games. I think that's like a really cool idea that more game companies need to like explore.
Yeah, absolutely. Like having more options to play online, and like especially now with lockdown, everybody's just kind of we don't see our friends as often as we would like to, as we try to be responsible. It's just we could use some few more extra ways to be able to reconnect with some of those people, maintain those relationships.
Absolutely. Especially people who are like long distance. I've got a lot of friends across the country and sometimes internationally. I've not been able to see them, period. There's no opportunity to see people international. Yeah. So, you can kind of like interact, more ways to interact with folks overseas. I think this is pretty cool. So this collection is slated to release in June 24th. We do have an exact date on this one, on PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Steam.
Rad.
Yes. So that's the one that we got really wrong.
Yeah. And then here's one that we didn't really speculate too much on, I think.
Because there was nothing to speculate.
Yeah. So, Void Terrarium 2 is a game that's been set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by toxic fungi, where apparently humans are been long extinct. But somehow, a robot human girl named Toriko, who's still alive deep underground, still hanging around.
Yes. So it's a very strange story. Terrarium actually came out already. Obviously, there was the first game. This is the second game. The robot has found a human girl couple hundred years after, humans should have long been gone. So why is she still there? How is she still alive? Like, that's already a mystery, right?
Yeah.
So one way or another, the robot, sort of had an intent on keeping her alive, but because of the toxic fungi, the robot has a hard time doing that. So the only way we could is to build a terrarium for the young girl to keep her alive inside, where the robot would adventure into the ruins, die, gets remade, go back. It's kind of roguelike. So you're expected to die over and over and over again, gathering goods and
I know what that's like.
supplies. Yeah. Well, so it's a pretty cool concept. It's kind of a dungeon crawler slash Tamagotchi game, because you have to keep the girl alive. She will, like, she might get sick, she gets hungry. You have to just like take care of this young girl while you go and explore the world. Yeah, it's kind of really interesting.
Weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird in like a good way though.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. So for folks who want like kind of an indie experience, but something a little bit more polished, I think this is a pretty cool game. It will be released in June 30th for Japan only. There is nothing about worldwide release yet. However, it should be noted that the last game did get a worldwide release sometime after the game. So we should probably expect the same from this. And again, this is from Nipponichi.
Let's check out the trailer for this, if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there's not going to be any gameplay, but you can see the artistic, the aesthetics, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Oh no, and she's got the worst form of pink eye. Oh, it's adorable though. Okay, that's really cute. Music is really pretty, isn't it?
Yeah. You almost forget that this is post-apocalyptic.
No, it's pretty.
No.
No, it's definitely. Oh man, it's definitely got that post-apocalyptic like front and center. I hear like a little like dissonance in the background of the music though. To really, I don't know. Oh no, oh dear, no. Okay, so that's what it looks like outside of the world there. Oh.
Yeah. So they're actually deep underground. And also that thing that protrudes from her eye socket is a some kind of a fungus that we're not sure how it's there. Is it keeping her alive? Is it killing her? We don't know. So the plot thickens, and we see that her health will probably deteriorate in the second installment. So this is a direct sequel from the first game, where it also featured the robot and Toriko.
And before, it's one of those funguses that like take over ant bodies and stuff, and it's actually
right. And who knows?
I hope that's not right, because that would be so messed up.
Oh god, that just got really dark really fast.
I know.
Oh jeez, that got dark really fast.
I hate myself already for saying that out loud. I'm sorry, everybody.
Japan is great at making anything cute, even if it's post-apocalyptic and just like super. That's sort of like juxtaposition. They love doing stuff like that, right? Where it's like, okay, how do we put something really dreadful and dire and something really cute? Let's just put that together and see what happens.
I mean, right? Angel Beast still just completely kills me every time I watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think School Live haunts me. School Live. I don't know. Have you ever heard of
School Days?
No, School Live.
School Life.
School Live. School Live.
No.
I get them mixed up sometimes. Because
I've heard things about School Days that are
it's School Live.
Okay.
School Live. Without any spoilers to anyone who has never seen it before. If you think this is a super happy-go-lucky slice of life cutesy anime, prepare for a crude awakening about midway. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
It is not it is one of those like I did not see that coming anime.
I think I might
School
want to
Life
watch
terrifies me. Yes.
This is something I might want to watch actually. Is that on Crunchyroll?
I don't know. It could be. This is one of the streaming services. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, but get past the first 3 episodes before you add me. Just don't talk to me until you get past it. The first couple episodes you're gonna be like, "That's nothing. This is this cute after school club. What are you talking about? Just keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching." I can't help but think of Higurashi when they cry.
It's like that, except I think because in Higurashi, like even by episode 2, you can start seeing something is not quite right.
Yeah,
and it slowly just like takes you into. I think the build up is a little bit longer with Love Life.
Okay,
School Life, not Love Life, School Life. It's a little bit longer of a build, but once you get that realization, that aha moment, and the world flips completely upside down, it just hits that much harder than Higurashi. I'm a fan of Higurashi. It's just a different kind of hit.
Yeah, slightly different vibe. I got you. Different pacing.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. We're way off topic again, but hey, that's cool. I love talking about it.
That's what people are here for. That's what people are here for. Am I right? I don't know. You guys tell me. Yeah, but last but not least, do you want to do the honor for this one?
All right. So here's one that we were pretty spot on about. I mean, it's unfortunate that we were talking about this like, and the countdown was going to end in like a couple of days from the time of our recording. But then like the next morning, they're like, whatever, screw the whole countdown to whatever. Here's the news of Soul Hackers 2. I gotta say, we're like, Baku, I think this is gonna be big. I was telling you, Baku, when that little bit of news got figured out, it's like, oh, this is actually gonna be on consoles. This isn't just gonna be some mobile port. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be. I think we better talk about this. At which point, Atlas is like, oh shoot, they figured it out. Okay, go live.
Abandoned.
All right, so there is a new entry for the Soul Hackers, now series confirmed. Prior, there was just one Soul Hackers title that was originally released on Sega Saturn, I think, and then it was ported.
One of those, yeah.
And then it was ported over to the 3DS relatively late in the 3DS lifespan, I think. And now we are getting a chance to play a new entry in the series, and we talked about this a little bit at the top of the episode, but the big, real major changes that I can see based on what this is looking like right now is that the original Soul Hackers was made in the 90s, and it was made with the 90s perspective of what a steampunk future could look like. And now they're making another one 20 years after the fact, and they're taking a view of what our modern perspective of what a cyberpunk future would look like. So it's more Cyberpunk 2077 as opposed to Cyberpunk Hackers 1990. You know,
not even just 20 years. It's 25 years.
Ooh, it has been 25 years.
25 years. Don't write those 5 years off. That's half a decade.
And most importantly of all is that it's coming out this year.
Yes.
On my birthday.
Is it really?
Legit.
What?
Yeah. Yep. I'm turning 35 the day it turns 25.
Hey, congratulations. Oh my God. Congratulations.
I mean, I'm not there yet. Don't congratulate me yet.
Well, congratulations on the game releasing on your birthday. Also, fingers crossed that it's not going to get delayed because you never know.
Yeah.
But
it's a good opportunity for me to take the day off of work and maybe play a little bit the day it comes out. So
absolutely,
absolutely, maybe gotta start making plans now.
You gotta treat yourself. Yeah, treat yourself. Yeah. So a couple of things to note. Of course, there has already been words about pre-order bonuses in the form of Persona 5 outfits for the 4 protagonists, and which their names are Ringo, Arrow, Milady, and Saizo. Yeah, like seriously, the character's name is Milady. I'm gonna laugh so hard if the name is not Milady, but actually like Melody. Her name is Melody, but somehow it got mistranslated in Milady. Okay, whatever. All right, but that's what I've got right now. And also, a 25th anniversary edition has been announced for Japan. There's currently no words on either of those being available for the worldwide release, but you bet your bottom dollars that whenever that becomes available, we will talk about it. We'll let you know if there is, in fact, going to be a kind of a limited edition or any kind of pre-order bonus DLC, you name it, any news at all that would be worthwhile to talk about, you'll hear it from us. The worldwide release is set on August 26th. Mark your calendar because that is Derek's birthday. It will be released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S with English and Japanese dual audio at launch.
I'm sorry. Everything you said right after Milady just completely got blocked out in my mind because you said Milady, and then my mind went.
Milady?
It just got derailed by that. Please tell me that there will be Fedora DLC for Milady.
Milady, that's her name. I didn't choose this. I didn't pick this.
I know. Last week it was Karen, I think was the name of one of the characters, and then this one is Milady.
Also that character, I finally played Scarlet Lexus right afterwards, and it turns out that person's name is Cotton. And also is a dude.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. It made a lot more sense now because they're all Japanese names. I didn't know that.
Okay.
They're all Japanese names. Yes, so it's Cotton, not Karen. But it's still funny. Okay. So did you want to look at the trailer?
Indeed, I do.
Soul Hackers? Yes, do it.
All right, let me see if I can pull this up here for us. It's gonna take a second. Maybe. Is it gonna play? Nope. For some reason, it wants me to install an extension. Watch together. Why are you being weird all of a sudden? Hang on a second, guys. Yep, it's just being weird.
Is it because of the link, or did you want me to just pull it? Oh, well, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. That is strange.
Yeah, it's Watch Together is trying to make me install an extension, and I don't want to. Don't make me do it. You can't make me. You're not my real browser.
We just watched it though. We just did this.
I know. I'm trying to. Oh, it's because it's got an age restriction. I think that's part of it.
Oh, okay. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. I feel like part of it is because of the URL. Maybe. Hang on a sec here. Actually, no. Nope. Is it the age restriction? Is that the reason why? That is so silly.
Right?
That is so silly.
I think I think that's what it is.
You know what? You wanna pop over to my I'm not gonna watch the trailer, but if you want to pop over to my screen, I can show something. Let's give some visuals at least.
No, it's okay. I can play it.
You can play it? Okay.
On YouTube.
Gotcha.
You just won't be able to hear it.
I don't need it. I watched that thing like 3 times, 4 times.
Okay.
Writing the docket.
All right.
I don't need this.
All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Is she a member of the Beatles?
Yeah. So that's Ringo. That's the new protagonist.
It's a really cool character design.
So a quick comment about her saying it's like the world was just created 5 minutes ago is based off of a philosophical saying, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, there's this whole thing. I forgot what it was called, but...
God, that looks really nice. Compared to SMT V that I'm playing through at the moment, I mean, it's definitely got far more cel-shaded style graphics, which I really dig. It looks like they're using a lot of the same models and animations for the demons, though.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, there's dozens, hundreds, maybe even of demons in SMT V. So I wouldn't blame them at all for reusing them. Heck, Game Freak does it. They're they make the largest game series in the world right now. So
yep, I'm like Pokemon. Milady, by the way, is the one with like the fork kind of weapon. You want to laugh about that one? That's the one. Okay. I'm just kind of curious as to, like, in terms of gameplay, how did they differentiate themselves between like SMT main series, Persona, and this? You know? Yeah. That's what I'm really curious about. Like, because looking at it, it looks more like a Persona game than it is a SMT game. Like, is it something going to be like in the middle of? Like, that's what I'm really curious about. Is I know that it's a turn-based RPG because of what we've seen so far. They're all turn-based though. Like Persona is turn-based, SMT is turn-based, this is turn-based. But how are they different, right? This has got to stand on its own. Yeah. And that's why I'm not mad about the new art style and aesthetics too, because like think about like Final Fantasy, right? Like when Final Fantasy came out and then you have all these spin-off, you have like Legend of Mana not Legend of Mana, but the Mana series is a Final Fantasy spin-off, actually. I don't know if people knew that. The Saga is a series, an entire series is Final Fantasy spin-off. But at some point, they develop their own aesthetics and characteristics that makes it a Mana series and makes it a Saga series.
So here, I pulled up the trailer again.
Need to do that.
I pulled up the trailer again here. And one thing that stands out to me that's going to be a big differentiating factor, at least from differentiating it from SMT here. I'll play this part again. You see in the upper right-hand corner here, we've got this thing here called stack. I mean, that's going to be a bit different from the mechanic, at least in SMT, where you have like, gosh, it's going to be really hard to describe it. But it's got a very specific system that allows you to utilize extra turns if you hit an enemy's weakness or if you crit, and you can be penalized if you hit something, if you use an element that they're immune to and that sort of thing. I'm guessing that the stack in the upper right-hand corner is going to be a similar mechanic that really makes it its own thing. So
the stack counter just went up just now from 3 to 4.
Yeah, and then it looks like they're also using guns here, and they're not really based on all the party members in the party. They're not actually fighting with demons alongside demons. I mean, it's similar to Persona in that you're fighting demons, but these guys are not summoning their own personas or anything like that. They're just straight up shooting them. So I'm guessing that's going to be one major way in which this is going to differentiate itself from both of them, right?
Well, if it's not a monster collection game, I actually have a higher probability of playing.
I mean, it might have some of that. It looked like they just summoned Cerberus. From what I saw there, it looked like they summoned one as like a in a traditional sense of like a Final Fantasy summon to do an attack. Maybe I don't know, but that's just what I saw based on that trailer. I could be way wrong, but it looks like it's going to differentiate itself at least in that regard.
Absolutely. I do want to touch on something that I did see earlier. I just felt like it was interesting. So it's actually Bernard Russell, like a famous like philosopher who sort of had this thing called the 5-minute hypothesis that basically says something the lines of, if we have an all-powerful God, couldn't the world have been just created with 5 minutes ago with pre-existing evidence and memories, you know, how would you know? You know, if that wasn't the case. So that's why when she said, "Oh, it felt like the world was just created 5 minutes ago," that's the reference to that. So I just thought that was
that
like,
whole concept of
cool.
like 5 minutes agoism.
Yeah, so I just want to bring that up so people can appreciate it. I don't know. I nerd out over like weird little things like that. So
I also heard that there was, and I'm speaking from a position of complete ignorance, but I think that there's also like a Buddhist sort of philosophy as well that might tie into that, where it's kind of like every time that you wake up, it's like being reborn, and like you're a different person each day to an extent. Like, and I don't know if that's actually, I don't know if that's actually true or just something that I heard, but you know, that could also tie into things a little bit. But it also looks like they're in a digital world that literally was like empty, so it could have just been made 5 minutes ago.
Which ties to it, right? Because we're always saying, well, what if our entire world is just one giant simulation, right?
Yep. The Matrix
by the way,
us.
One more thing that I did notice from the trailer just now that I forgot to mention, it says that there's a PC release, so there's probably going to be a PC release for this. So for all the gamers out there who are the PC variety, if you watch the trailer, it says PC in the top left-hand corner. It's like PS4, PS5, Xbox, and then PC. So probably Steam, honestly.
Yep. Oh, I see at the end there is actually a Steam logo as well.
Oh, there you go. So
yep,
there you go. Steam. Right there. Yep.
Indeed.
Yep. Okay. Just want to add that in there before we move on.
All right.
All righty. So that's like halfway through a whole bunch of things that we've talked about, you know, all the new game announcements. Hey, if anything in particular you guys have strong feelings about, or you just want to share any thoughts with us, don't hesitate to type in that comment or do super chat. We'll definitely be reading those.
For sure. All right. Industry news. This one is pretty well, I think this is another instance of us predicting the future, if I may say so. Another instance of predicting the future. Square Enix president expresses interest in more HD 2D remakes. Remakes, according to producer Tomoya Asano, head of business division responsible for the Bravely series and Octopath Traveler, and during a recent Square Enix radio show broadcast on YouTube. So he said that I guess Asano is the main person responsible for for Bravely and Octopath and all.
Why he matters, I guess. He's kind of the head guy, so he's kind of matters.
Yeah. Exactly.
He might know a thing or two about HD 2D. I don't know.
He has definitely got his thumb on the pulse there, and I guess he must have heard some people saying things like, you know, live alive. I'll get it eventually. That looked really great. And when the heck are we getting Final Fantasy VI HD 2D?
He would know a thing or two. So Tomoya Asano, again, he is the person responsible for Bravely series, Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy. So he was asked by the Square Enix president to basically come up with a list of games that can utilize HD 2D. So, I mean, I guess we all saw this coming, that they're not going to waste this like whole, you know, diorama kind of technology, especially when it's so well received. You know, I do want to bring up, like, I've read the comments from you guys, of course, and some of you like the style a lot, some of you don't like the style, some of you feel like, you know, this works for this but may not work for this for me. We just got to wait and see what game they apply this to and how they apply it, because I think it would be very interesting. You know, especially for Final Fantasy VI. Just please give me Final Fantasy VI. That's all I want is Final Fantasy VI. But you know, there are certain other games that I feel like could use this treatment and could benefit. You know, if Triangle Strategy works well, I think Tactics Ogre would be a great game to go through that treatment. God, please give us a modern Tactics Ogre, Square Enix, modern console, not PSP. That was the last time that Tactics Ogre saw the light of day. Please, it's a great game.
One other thing that might be a good step in the next direction. Imagine this where they do HD 2D, but in a way maybe similar to Grandia, where they allow you to take control of the camera. And
that would be interesting.
You know,
that would be interesting.
Yeah, it'd take a bit more work to do that. You know, obviously you'd have to plan things out a little bit differently, but for the games where you would normally be able to see like behind certain buildings and stuff, that might be
that would be like HD 2D 2.
HD 2D 3, HD 2D,
HD 3D,
2.5, HD 2.5D,
2.5D final remix.
No.
Who let Nomura in? Get him out of there. Listen, Asano is already like not very good at naming things. Please don't bring Nomura into this. This is gonna make it worse.
Oh man,
this man is responsible for Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy again.
Yeah.
So definitely some exciting news for days to come. So whenever we hear more about it, you'll hear it from us for sure.
I wonder how long it took for him to write Chrono Trigger down as a possible answer, because I would be so down for that.
Man, I see. You know, I don't know if that's going to be some kind of a like inside political suicide. You know, like I Square, from my understanding, okay, and this is from like this is rumor, pure rumor, but from over the years, no one really dares bring up Chrono as a new opportunity in Square Enix because of weird.
Because of connections
connections, and it's all kinds of things. Like it's kind of you have to be senior enough to even bring that up, and you have a lot to risk. You know, you won't say this lightly. It's just it's so strange. I mean, it has to do with like work culture, perhaps in Japan, and just cultural differences. Like here in the West, is like why would you have a problem talking about that? It's just such a great idea. Why would you have a problem? You know, there's a whole history in this whole thing. So I do think the rumor has some validity. But that's what I've heard, is that rumor has it that, you know, say from like remasters is nothing, right? Because we're just updating graphics is fine. Yes. But any kind of new project, it's hard. It's hard. So we shall see. But there's a whole list, and it's mostly Super Famicom games, according to the radio show that Square Enix had. So it's a broadcast on YouTube. They call it a radio show.
They said,
but that they called it a radio show.
Yeah, right. But they said mostly Super Nintendo titles.
Yeah,
which implies that it contains non-Super Nintendo titles as well.
Yeah, I mean, so I believe DQ3 is an NES game. So yeah, DQ3 would be the example already that it doesn't have to be Super Nintendo. But I would imagine it would be like Nintendo. Well, it would be Nintendo and Super Nintendo console. So because after that, it would be N64, and I don't think N64, you know, would.
No, you mean PS1 maybe? PS1.
Yeah, maybe PS1, but you know, yeah. So we'll see how this thing works out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you imagine HD 2D Xenogears?
No, actually, I cannot.
It would not work. They could not do it, but
it would not work.
I mean, there's probably more political suicide to be gained from that one.
Yep.
But visually though, I bet that would look incredible if they could. If they could figure it out.
Yeah. Realistically, no, but we can dream. Yeah.
One can dream.
One can dream.
Has a right to dream.
Like I don't think I'll see any of the Mana games in there because they've gone the way of the 3D remix. So that's all done. Like all the Mana games is 3D remade. We're not touching that. Saga series, maybe Romancing Saga. Maybe Romancing Saga can get a HD 2D remake, because that would be interesting. I would love to see Romancing Saga 1, because the last time they did a remake was PS2, which at this point is retro. To all you youngins out there, are like, oh, this is a retro game.
I mean, at this point, the Wii is kind of retro even.
Yeah. So, I think Romance and Saga could potentially be HDTD. The problem, I think, is that a lot of these series, their sort of like head person is still sort of in charge. So like, there's some kind of weird political thing that goes back and forth between like whoever's managing like the Saga series that's still employed versus like Asano here, who's like, well, I have the HD2D technology, so who's gonna head this thing, me or you? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a speculation on my part that someone's got to give in this vibe with control on creative endeavors. So we shall see who wins in the end.
All right. So this one, I think you'll probably want to talk a little bit about.
Yeah, so there are two major events that had happened over the last 48 hours. I don't know if you all have been aware.
At least two.
Yeah, two super major like world-shaking events. I wouldn't go that far, but two competing IPs, which most of you, at least I think, would have spent your childhood at least delving into at least one of them, and that is Digimon and Pokemon, respectively. So let's talk about the Digimon one first. There is something called the Digimon Con. That happened on YouTube. It was free entry. It was 6 hours long event. And basically celebrating the franchise with news and musical performances. And if you try to look it up on YouTube because you want to watch it now, well, it's not on there. If you missed it, you missed it. But I'm here to give you some highlights as far as the gaming is concerned. So first of all, Digimon Adventure, the 2020 remake of the original Digimon anime, will get an English dub release. No actual date available yet. But if you are a fan of English dub, you don't feel like learning the language, shame on you. Or just learn the language. Come on, how hard could it be? Or if you just don't feel like reading sub, which is understandable. If you're a fan of English dub, just know that that's coming. Again, no release date, but they're working on it. Okay.
All right.
Now, more interesting things as far as games are concerned. During the Q&A session, the series chief producer, Hatsuma Sahabu, expressed interest in remastering or remaking the 1999 PlayStation title, The Digimon World. So I believe that is the original game on PlayStation, Digimon World. So he's saying, well, this is with high interest in remastering and remaking the game. Of course, nothing concrete, but hey, one can hope, right? So all you folks out there who just like reminisces like, the old games and like, hey, Nintendo can remake Pokemon. Why can't you guys remake like, these games? Well, it might happen. It might happen. So we'll keep an eye out. A new Digimon story game is in development. No name for it even. Just like, what did they spend 6 hours talking about?
6 hours of not much.
Yeah. So this is this Digimon story game that's in development. No name, but it will center around the Olympus 12, which are 12 different Digimons that's modeled after the 12 Olympians. So I don't really know what they look like, but that's what was said. So I'm just reporting it to you. Last but not least, and I think this is the one that I'm actually pretty interested in, is called Digimon Survive, which was announced back at, I believe, TGS 2018.
Yeah, we talked about that on the JRPG Weekly Update several years ago. I was pretty excited for it, and then it went totally dark.
Yes, it went totally dark, but now we've gotten some updates on it. So it will continue to be delayed. There is no release date in sight. That's the bad news. The good news is that they haven't dropped it. In fact, there is a new trailer for it. Now, from what is shown so far, Digimon Survive is a tactical RPG with a dark theme geared towards adult players. I've always felt like Digimon was too kiddie, and I just like couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
But this is going to be pretty interesting. For example, it is possible for characters in the game to die depending on the action that you will take, according to Habu, the series producer.
You want to take a look at this trailer here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I'm so excited to see this because I've actually not seen this trailer yet.
Oh. It looks really good. The music's really good. I'm actually excited about this. I don't even Digimon. I don't Digimon.
Yeah, me neither.
But like tactical RPG, dark.
Yeah.
What?
Dark Digimon got me interested.
Dark Digimon.
It's like a post-apocalyptic looking world, sort of like there's been a
lot of post-apocalypticness. a lot of that. I love the music though. The aesthetics looks really nice.
Yeah.
So this was taken from the Digimon Con. Yeah. I think someone like captured it. Thank goodness someone captured it.
I think they really missed an opportunity to call it the Digicon. Just saying.
Maybe Digicon's already taken.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they should take it anyway.
I got some thoughts on, how their communication strategy. Like whoever's like their PR person, fired that person.
I didn't hear about this con at all. And
among other things.
Yeah.
Like
the fact that it's been taken down, that's really weird. Like I
caught wind of it, but after our last week show.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to keep it a secret or something.
But it's also a 6 hours event.
I know. A 6-hour event. And Nintendo knows how to do it. 20 minutes, just leave it up afterwards. It's just full of interesting things. Know. Okay, there's a little bit of gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much though, I guess.
The music is just like full sad. Just like we want to really set the tone. This is not going to be a happy adventure if that's what you're expecting.
I know. Digimon Survive, Prepare to Cry edition.
Prepare to Cry DLC. Yeah, I'll make you pay for that.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
I'm down. Yeah. I'm interested though.
Yeah, I am pretty stoked. So, and I never thought that I would say that I'm stoked about anything that relates to Digimon, but here we are, 2022. I'm stoked. I just want to touch on one more thing about that. There's something else that Habu had said, and that is along the lines of these Digimon are actually the other half of the soul of the characters in here. So they share like a soul, apparently. So that may be a major theme that will play into these games. So when we talk about characters dying, it could be that if any Pokemon actually gets not Pokemon. Did I say Pokemon? I did say Pokemon. If any of your Digimon were to fall in battle, perhaps that person, the partner, may also fall. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
It's very likely that would be because I don't think he mentioned that like out of nowhere for no reason. Like I think that was a very deliberate like statement during the Q&A. And so when he says like these people can die and also they share a soul, it's like wait a minute. Or maybe vice versa. Like maybe if the humans ever actually harmed and killed, that the Digimon partner will also vanish. Who knows?
If you die in Digimon world, do you die in real life?
Well, apparently this is the real world.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. So, but we'll see. A lot of it, some speculation. But based on things that are actually said, this is not like blind speculation, right? So we'll see how it actually plays out. I'm ready for it though.
Okay.
Now, the other event that happened, as I mentioned, there is a Pokemon event. This time it's not 6 hours long. It's called Pokemon Presents, and that happened yesterday. So, Derek, did you want to do this honor?
Sure. Gosh. Okay. So this event had a lot of mobile games that were talked about.
Yeah, a lot
like
of
the
mobile
first
games.
The first like solid half, maybe more than half, was like mobile stuff, which I don't know. Maybe some people are really into it. I'm not though. So I'm not going to do that many favors. But okay, so a new mystery gift called Oak's Letter will allow players of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl to catch the legendary Shaman. Yeah, do it, because you can only be claimed until March 27th, 2022. So if you have Diamond and Pearl, get on it. And if you don't have it, make sure you go buy it, because if you don't, you'll only be able to get it through hacking your Switch later on.
Hashtag not sponsored. We're not sponsored. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. We're getting some mystery gifts. Pokemon Legends Arceus Daybreak 1.1 patch is now available. So we speculated that was going to be DLC. It is not a DLC. It is a free patch. In fact, I already patched my game. It looks like, they had like a really short trailer for it. They didn't explicitly list out all the changes to the patch, but one of the things that I did see from that small little segment is an outbreak of alpha Pokemon. So an outbreak is when you get like a whole bunch of them in a small area that just comes out, and prior to the patch it's just a whole bunch of like smaller version, but it looks like now there would be like alpha outbreaks, so all of them are giant with glowing red eyes and look scary as heck. So it's pretty cool. And also there will be a Pokemon Arceus anime set to release later this year. So pretty fun stuff for Pokemon fans. There will be a gift in the game for Arceus. So if you enter mystery gift password, all caps, Arceus Adventure, you will get yourself 30 Gigaton balls, 30 Jet balls, and 30 Ultra balls, mini balls.
Now this is a mystery. This is an event for the mobile game, though, right? For one of the mobile games.
This is for Arceus.
Oh, this is for Arceus.
Oh, none of this is for the mobile game. Really? I don't give two cents about
because I saw
the mobile games.
Oh, that's right. I saw something else where they were talking about giving away a bunch of stuff. The balls, though, that was part of Arceus. Okay.
Yes, that was part of Arceus. So if you have the Arceus game and you just want some balls, and they're free balls.
Hey. You never have too many balls.
You never in that game. I'm just spamming them. I'm just like throwing them, and because I don't really do FPS, and I'm just like really bad at aiming, and it aims at an arc, right? It's not like a straight line. Like there's a crosshair, but aims at an arc.
Oh,
so it's kind of like
So Arceus isn't just a clever name.
But I know. You. So get those balls. You have until March 31st. So just type it in. Just get it done. And it's immediately available. I've already gotten my free balls, and you should get your free balls too.
And then I think that was pretty much it, right? Pretty much everything.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's all. As if that was all that was. I think the most exciting news for all the fans is the review of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which would mark the 9th generation of the series. The game is set in a new region with 3 new starter Pokemon, and I am going to butcher their names, but bear with me. Is Sprigatito, is Fuecoco, and a Quexley, which incidentally looks a lot like Donald Duck. Everyone on the internet right now is like, Quexley looks like Donald Duck.
with a toupee specifically. But may I say that Sprigatito, I'm pretty sure it's, because I'm guessing that this is going to be based on just the names here. It sounds like maybe Mexico or maybe Spain. But Sprigatito. That's a gato. That cat looks so gosh darn adorable. I had to throw him in the thumbnail.
It's a plant. I think it's a grass type cat.
It's a grass kitty.
Yes, a grass kitty. Yeah, which looks really, really awesome. That's a lot of cat starters, man. What happened to all the dogs? Like, are they not dog lovers? Like, they're all cats. What happened to like dog like starters, man? What's going on?
Oh, because cats are adorable, and here,
dogs are adorable.
I mean, yes, they are, but also here, let me just share my screen here. Look at it. It's so cute.
It is super cute.
It is so dang cute. Look at that.
But come on. How do we not have any dog starters? Come on.
I mean,
do we not have no dog starters?
Do we not have dog starters? Are you
I
sure
don't
about
think
that? I thought for sure we'd have dog starters.
I'm thinking really hard right now, and I don't think there are any dog starters. We've got penguins.
I mean, let's be to be fair, Growlithe will kick this kitty's butt, but
and whatever Bulbasaur is,
and so would Houndoom.
Yes, I mean we have dog type Pokemon, but I want a dog type starter. What's going on? What's going on? How's there no dog type starter? Too many cats.
I like kitties.
Yeah,
I like them both. You can
I like them
both, but yeah, there are some good pooches out there for sure, but I mean that one is just designed so dang adorably.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm pretty excited to see what kind of changes that they have brought to the series from Arceus will transfer over to this new game. Hopefully they make the right call and just like really get the player feedbacks and understand like what works and what doesn't work, and bring that to the new series. It is a, Arceus is basically touted by I think many people as sort of like the fresh breath of air that's being breathed in to the game series. So they gotta keep that momentum going. Like don't waste this. Waste this. This is so good.
I gotta say, I also really like the direction of the new Pokemon designs. Fuecoco looks really adorable as well. Hopefully this is like a he looks a little derpy, okay, but he's cute. Quaxley, I don't really care. Sorry,
Quaxley, man. Sorry, Quaxley.
Quaxley's gonna be a dragon type Pokemon by the end of the game, though. You count my words now. I mean, that's what they do with like Magikarp. You're like Magikarp. I'm not gonna keep that in my party. Quaxley, no.
It's water dragon type with the toupee. The toupee stays. Everything else changes.
It's just a Gyarados. It's a water flying type. It's just a Gyarados with toupee. Straight up.
It's not even a duck at the end. It's like I don't know. It's a dog with the toupee, but water type and dragon somehow. Yes.
What the quack?
With the quack. It could be what is that a platypus? What if it's like a platypus?
What, like a Psyduck?
Yeah, it's got like Psyduck is a duck. What if it's like a platypus? Like it's got the bill, but also like it's not a duck. Yeah, what if?
That a platypus Pokemon would actually, that'd be pretty interesting. That'd be poison type, by the way. Fun fact.
Yeah, if and only if they have a new region that's based in Australia, which I feel like is like way overdue. I think they should have done Australia. Like Australia
like
Outback is
or something.
Perfect. Yeah, it would have been perfect. So this is what I don't understand right now that we've talked about the Digimon presentation versus like the Digimon Con.
Yeah,
a Digimon Con was a 6 hours event with
and they announced almost nothing.
Q&A session, and they announced basically nothing. Pokemon Presents, 14 minutes, and it's just like rapid fire, like release here, gifts here, release here. You get a gift, and you get a gift. Like they went just Oprah Winfrey on this one.
Less was definitely more, and Nintendo
Less
proved
was more.
it. Yeah,
less was more. And keep the darn thing like available for watch. Like I'm trying to spread the news for you,
and they won't allow you to.
Did not making it easy.
Keep it a secret. You can't let anybody know we're gonna Pokemon or Digimon survive. It's still alive. It's survived development hell so far.
Yeah. Just they I don't think they did a good job. Like I was looking for like a trailer. Like here's what I thought. Like I thought that they would leave the 6 hours event maybe like with a lot of edits, you know, but more or less intact. And that was not the case. I'm like, okay, you've got to at least have like the trailers of the things that you've shown available, right? Because you've already shown it. Right? It's not a secret. No, nothing official. Anyways, again, the one that we just watched, someone had the foresight of polling that and recording it and then making it available. Thank you, fans. Right? Just what are you doing? Digimon, Pokemon, on the other hand, they had the 14-minute presentation. They have separate trailers and websites for things that they talked about, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's a separate trailer actually for Scarlet and Violet, and also a new game sites up. So, you know, that's how you do it.
So who makes Digimon, by the way? Is that Namco Bandai?
I think it's Bamco, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Bamco.
I was about to try to defend them. I was about to try to say, to be fair, Nintendo's like this really big company, and they do these things regularly where they put out the Nintendo Direct. So they've got this down to like a science by now. Whereas Digimon, it's like they've only got their one thing. You know, it's a small company. They don't. No, it's not. They really should.
Bamco. Yeah, it's a huge conglomerate. They've been doing games for years. What?
Yeah.
So do we need to teach them how to PR? Like they should hire us. We should be their PR.
Step one: don't make it too long, or it'll just be boring. For no matter what you do, like you could walk on water in the middle of the 6-hour stream. No one's gonna remember.
Exactly. I am so surprised when I was reviewing and looking at up like videos and just finishing up the docket today. Like I found nothing. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, so that's the crazy Digimon versus Pokemon, and I've got to say, Pokemon is definitely still winning by a long shot. By
the way, I just remembered a little small other detail that's kind of really important here about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet here. Announced, you might have already mentioned this, but it might have slipped by. It's coming out late 2022, late this year.
Yes, on the Switch.
How crazy is that it's coming? Like we're just getting all these announcements of games coming out this year. I mean, Soul Hackers 2 coming out this year. Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet this year. This year is just. I put out a video earlier this year talking about a bunch of games that I'm excited for, and since I put out that video like a month ago, my list has like doubled in size. It's like we keep getting new stuff.
I have a theory on that. I feel like part of the reason why is probably the pandemic.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, like so the workflow really slowed down. We don't know how to work. Work culture has to change. The work flow has to change. A lot of things had to change, and unfortunately, I'm pretty sure some folks might have even, unfortunately, get the worst end of the deal, and maybe were severely, incapacitated, or just, you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that's really like stifle, like development. But now that like we're sort of on our way to recovery, economically speaking, and like development work could largely be done remotely. I work with a remote team of developers myself. I don't work on game development, but software development still, like, that's my day job. When I'm not reading news to you, I am working on software. And thankfully, whoever I work for has always been prepared for a lot of work at home situation. But Japan is very much we work, face to face, like more old school. So for them to adapt to this new way of work might have taken a little bit of time. But now that all that projects sort of stacked, that got delayed, they're all sort of coming out all at the same time, right? So that's my little theory of why we're getting all of these things coming all at once.
Yep. It's kind of like when you have like a big line of traffic and then there's like a little bit of a break and then, someone steps on the brakes a little bit, but then they move on. But there's this little chain of stopped cars. And it's kind of like you develop this wave that flows and you end up developing into a traffic jam. And that's what we're getting right now. It's just, except things are moving forward now. So it's getting more cars through, more games through than expected. The jam is clearing.
Absolutely. So I don't expect this to be like a long-term trend, but we should enjoy what we get now for better or for worse. It's a problem, but it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the last piece of news that I really want to talk about with you all, and this is personally exciting for me and not exciting for Derek for reasons that we've talked about. NieR Automata again. I just set this one up again. Yes, again. So the last piece of news is this: NieR Automata during the 5th anniversary live stream, which happened last week, the Square Enix has announced that NieR Automata will be getting a TV animation.
Ooh, really?
TV animation series of NieR Automata. I am super stoked on this because I love NieR Automata. Did I mention that I think it's a masterpiece and Derek should play it? Tweet at him.
I don't think you mentioned that, actually. I don't think that no, that doesn't sound familiar.
Allow me to give you 5 reasons why it is a masterpiece. No, but it's coming. There's not a whole lot of things disclosed. There is a short trailer. We can take a look at it. There's an official site, but neither of those things really tell you a whole lot of things. You don't really get to see the animation style. They don't talk about the animation studio. They don't talk about dates. Nothing. Just nothing. But it is still an exciting trend as well. I mean, this piece of news is exciting to me, but also it's an exciting trend because, what was it last podcast that we talked about? Trails of Cold Steel? Was it the one before that?
The anime.
Yes.
I think that was 2 ago.
Yeah, so we're definitely getting a lot of these games that be made into anime, and some of them I think will work really well. Some of them I'm a little weary, and unfortunately NieR Automata is one of those ones that I'm not sure if it will do as well as a TV animation.
I am confident that if I just simply watch this anime, I will have a similar experience to you who has played the game.
No, don't be that person. No. Because we hear that from people who are like, oh yeah, I watched the Persona 5 anime, I'm good. It's like, no, you gotta play the game. The anime is not the same experience as playing the game.
Yeah,
so different. Just know that we're not saying they are equivalents or that they're replacements, but NieR Automata TV animation is coming hopefully sometime this year. And once we get more information on it or any of the JRPG turned into anime, you will definitely hear that from us. And so my question to folks out here that I've asked folks in my stream, what are some game to anime that you've liked in the past years? Let us know down below.
Man, I'm trying to think of some games to anime that I've enjoyed.
Well, let's see. There are some that are like game to anime, and then there's anime to game, and then there are ones that are like a multimedia project where they just kind of all come out at the same time. Yeah. So some that I can just kind of name that are sort of like, let's just say they're game to anime would be like Persona, Tales, obviously, what is it? NieR Automata is coming. Trails of Cold Steel is coming. We did name a good couple of them.
I think I kind of enjoyed Dragon Quest Your Story, which is Dragon Quest V adaptation to movie form, but it was CG, but it was still pretty anime inspired visuals. I think it kind of counts.
Yeah. Multimedia would be like Final Fantasy 15, which I don't particularly like how they did it, but nonetheless, they have animation and a movie and a game and a mobile game.
Dot Hack,
all of the canon.
Dot Hack series.
Dot Hack, yeah, Dot Hack is definitely more. In fact, I think Dot Hack is one of the first.
Oh, Digimon Pokemon.
Well, Pokemon's a game first and then anime.
Yeah.
Digimon, actually, I think, is anime and then game.
Because I think that they were Pokemon. I think was planned to be kind of both from the beginning.
I don't know. I think it was. Well, yeah, I think it could be argued either ways. I mean, it's definitely game concept first.
Oh, Shenmue.
There you go. Shenmue. Castlevania. That was so good. That's another one. Castlevania. So for those who enjoy Castlevania,
had a really great one.
Yeah. We're just talking about Shenmue in my Twitch stream where I was just strong making fun of the name because the Chinese name made no sense. I just couldn't stop laughing at the Chinese name. And I can't explain it. It's like you just got to know Chinese to see how lame it is. But let's just... If you're a fan, just like don't learn Chinese. Just you don't ever want to know what Shenmue means. It's just so lame. Like
it just means like adventure story.
It's like Spirit Wood or something. Like just
I love it.
So stupid. It was so stupid.
It's perfect. I love it.
But yeah, so more animations to come. I think this is going to be an ongoing trend. You're going to expect to see some of your favorite JRPGs become like anime over the years. It used to be that anime is more of like an advertisement. Did you know that anime is not an end product in Japan?
Yeah, it's anime a way to advertise like figures and androids
but with the rise of popularity over the last 2 decades, I think of just anime abroad and the availability of streaming service to monetize these things. Anime is very much an end product now. Whereas before it's more of an advertisement free on TV to hype you up to buy goods and like the series. Now it is a end product in its own right. No, we're not talking about DVDs.
The exact same could be said though of like the Ninja Turtles or He-Man or even G.I. Joe for sure. They were the villain of the day cartoons that were advertised to us, and then they'd have these toy commercials in the middle, but it's really the whole thing is a toy commercial so that they can...
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Now imagine being able to find a way to monetize that, right? So now that they can monetize it, now they can really put in the quality and like make it a refined product. So I'm actually kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I hope that our streaming services can keep up.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't just make it a straight adaptation with a play the game sort of ending.
Yeah, basically. I'm curious. I really want to know how they're going to do NieR Automata specifically, because there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing on it. No art style, nothing. I don't know what it looks like.
It's just all CGI. It's like the new Berserk.
It's just basically NieR Automata cutscenes, but an entire. Damn it! This is not 2D.
Oh man, this is not 2D. This is not 2B. All right, so. We're gonna read some super chats here in a moment, but before we do that and before we wind it down, Baku, what are you doing right now? Where can people find you and what are you playing?
I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 not too long ago. Right now I'm in the middle of playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. It is the turn-based game for the Yakuza series. It is a new jumping in point, so if anyone's interested in Yakuza and just don't really feel the action game, you just like that good old turn-based battle, it is a super fun game. And in fact, the main character, the reason why it's a turn-based game, I'll throw that out there. The reason why it's a turn-based game is because the main character, Ichiban, sees all the battles in the eyes of like Dragon Quest because he's a big RPG fan. So anytime he gets in a fight, he just mental image is DQ. And that's the reason why all the battles in RPG. And you get different classes for your characters, but they're not like traditional class like wizard and samurai and knight. It's like, like SWAT enforcer, hostess, a bum, like they're the character unique class. Like one of them is a homeless guy is a unique class. It's just like all kinds of like hilarity that I think people who are, especially if you have like an RPG background, could appreciate. But also like this actually also works really well. It's not just a gimmick. Like it's hilarious, but also it works. So
that's awesome.
I highly recommend it.
Yes. You're selling me on it slowly but surely.
I'm gonna wear you down. You're gonna play.
As somebody who I know you're a huge fan of the Yakuza series, would you say that I should play through the other Yakuza games first? Or would this be better as like a jumping in point? And then
for
maybe
you specifically, I would say don't bother with the other games. Just play Like a Dragon. If you like it, if you like
then go down the rabbit hole and
if you like what makes this a Yakuza experience. Because remember we talked about like there's certain thing that makes this like a Yakuza experience. I don't think the battle makes it a Yakuza experience. It's like the storytelling, the drama, the hilarious side quests, and the hyper realistic like maps that they have that basically models exactly the town that it models after. Like those are things that makes it a Yakuza experience. And if you're into it, then I would highly recommend playing the previous games.
I might have to check that out before too long because it's getting more tempting by the minute.
Turn-based.
Before you keep talking, I should tell the folks about what I'm doing and what people can find me. Right now, I'm in the process of finishing up Shin Megami Tensei 5 on hard mode over on twitch.tv/SuperDerekRPGs. I stream there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after, at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to catch me live there, then you can do so. And we'll have links down in the description down below, and you can find Baku and I there. So
congratulations again. Yeah, don't try to type twitch.tv/SuperDerekRPGs. Like we've got a link down there. Just click that.
Yeah.
Or you can type it, whatever. Whatever. I mean, you do you.
If you're into difficulty, then you can go ahead and try and type it. It's fine. A
if
blind speed run of getting to the URL.
If you're into difficulty, play SMT 5 on hard mode. Like
all right. So we got some super chats. We've actually got a few to get through here. So I'll go ahead and start with Still Alive here. Who says, do you guys think Chrono Cross, the rumors are true about a possible... he says, do you think after Chrono Cross that the rumors are true about the possible Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy IX remasters? He says he thinks this was included. They were both included in that NVIDIA leak from last year.
Yes,
I think that's strong evidence. Strong evidence.
I would say yes, and not because of the leak. I don't trust leaks. I don't trust rumors. Sometimes they're true. Sometimes they're not true. But what I would trust is just the profitability and just the timing of it. I've always said that PS1 games are now being remade, remastered because these are the games that millennials grew up playing, aka like the two of us.
Yeah.
And we're the people who are like working and has the money to buy these things. So it's not a coincidence that, Super Nintendo games and PS1 games right now are being remade, and soon it will be PS2 games, right? Because it just works down the generation. And Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics, and what was that other one? Final Fantasy IX, they're both like beloved titles, so I don't see why they wouldn't. It just makes sense. Stronger evidence,
especially if Triangle Strategy does really well. I would not be surprised if they jumped at capitalizing on Tactics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it might be a little bit longer before they do that just because they tactical game tends to take a little bit longer to play through, and I don't think they're going to want to cannibalize people who are currently playing triangle strategy. It's like a release like schedule thing, but in due time I think they will come, and it's just finger crossed that Tactics Ogre, please. Now, I was gonna mention also that Final Fantasy IX will have an animation adaptation. So and this was talked about maybe like 2-3 months ago. So it just kind of coincide with all of this. Like, why would you do a Final Fantasy IX animation adaptation now? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, Chrono Cross had the collaboration with that mobile game. I can't remember the name of it ever, but they did that, and then they tied it into this, and now they have this animation for 9 coming, and then maybe they'll do something with that.
I wonder why they would do that. Why would they invest money into doing this? I wonder why.
Yeah, so out of the blue.
It just lends credence to the rumor that they're coming. So fingers crossed though, because there's still rumors are still rumors.
Yes, exactly. Hype responsibly, if you know what I mean.
Hype responsibility. I like that. I'm gonna take that.
All right, so here's one from Kenny H. Thank you so much. By the way, still alive. Kenny H. Thank you for the super chat here. Hey guys, love the show. Gets better each ep, and look forward to seeing it every Sunday. Keep it up. Well, thank you so much, Kenny.
Very much
appreciated.
Thank you.
And then we got one from Duo Beard here who says, "Happy Sunday. Remember to hit that like button." Well, I mean, not gonna force anybody's hand on that, but it would be nice. They do help.
Yeah, the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button.
No, all the buttons. You're going too far, Baku. This is your fourth time on, or fifth time on YouTube. It's just you gotta ease off of that.
It's okay. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. Hit all the
comment,
buttons.
and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
God. No, okay, it's terrible. Okay, let's not do that. And then we got one from Diana Lopez, who said to you, Baku, here. This one's specifically for you. Says, "Oh no, thank you, Baku, for the Ys recommendation. My kid finished Ys Origin and loved it. I'm still working on it, but plan on finishing it."
Nice. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. I do remember specifically making that recommendation. I think the question was, I have a young child at a certain age. I want to get him or her into wait, she said son, right? Did she say son?
She said kid. Didn't specify.
Kid. Okay, sorry. I'm just going off my recollection here, so I apologize. Sure. But yeah, so I've got a kid at this age. I want to get them to play RPG. What would you recommend? And I was saying, well, and this is for everybody who's listening. I would recommend things like Ys because it's action, and kids tends to be more receptive to action games. So if you want to get them down the path of RPG gaming goodness, start them off with action RPGs. That's how I got hooked into a lot of these RPGs. Granted, I start off playing Final Fantasy IV, but some of my favorite games from just growing up have all been action RPG, like Trials of Mana. It's just still today my most fond memories of just playing from that Super Nintendo era. Terra Enigma is action, and Derek will tell you how much he likes that one.
Oh man.
So yeah,
it just hits different for sure.
Oh yeah. So we can both attest that there's something about action RPG that keeps you from being bored, because you're constantly moving around, and it's more responsive than the payout from a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, turn-based RPGs are a little more cerebral, and it's harder to appreciate it at face value, I think. It was even Zelda, I think, that got me interested in going down the rabbit hole that led eventually to RPGs.
So a Zelda game would definitely be another thing that I may recommend. But yeah, I'm just glad that you're enjoying Ys. It's a great series
for sure. All right, well, thank you everybody so much for your support here through those super chats, helping us keep the stream going. Very much appreciate y'all. Now,
thank you.
Yeah, if you are new here and if you liked what you heard, if you liked any of that, make sure to get subscribed. Or if you're listening to a podcast through one of the various platforms that we have the audio cast on, and if it has a way to leave a review, please do be sure to give us a positive review if you enjoyed it. And if not, I am surprised you made it all the way to the end.
I hated every second of it. I just want to listen to more things I didn't like. Just want to let you know how disappointed I am in you. I will be back next week to listen to more things I don't like. As a matter of fact, hey, listen, if you didn't like the show for any reason, if there are ways for us to improve, please let us know. Or you could just keep coming back and listen to things you don't like. Either ways, it works for us.
That's true. All right. So, and leave us comments because, as you can tell, we do read them, and we even sometimes read them on the show. So,
yes,
we'll keep an eye out for those. Thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your evening or morning or wherever it is that you are listening or watching. So, take care, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.